Let's talk about North Korea. We haven't heard much about North Korea since the big summit in Singapore. And it turns out that nobody at the U.S. State Department has heard much from North Korea since that summit. Donald Trump is now claiming that North Korean denuclearization has begun. And that caused actual experts and officials to say, wait, what is he talking about? And we knew that it would happen. We knew that when Donald Trump said he won at that Singapore, North Korea summit, that he would claim victory indefinitely, no matter what happened, and that his followers would fall for it. And he's doing it. Donald Trump said at a recent cabinet meeting, quote, total denuclearization has already started. They've stopped the sending of missiles, including ballistic missiles. They're destroying their engine site. They're blowing it up. They've already blown up one of their big test sites. In fact, it's actually 4 of their big test sites. And the big thing is it will be a total denuclearization, which has already started taking place. Sounds like big winning, right? Except that actual officials who know what's going on said there's no evidence whatsoever that any denuclearization has started since the summit. Nobody has any idea what Donald Trump is referring to, which nuclear test sites, what missiles, what dismantling is Trump talking about. Nobody knows, because it appears that Trump is making this up out of thin air. And even more, we could say hilariously, or we could say tragically, the State Department now says there has not even been contact with North Korean officials since the summit. Zero contact. Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis was asked, here's what Trump said, has North Korea done anything towards denuclearization yet? Jim Mattis said, quote, no, I'm not aware of that. The Pentagon was asked to comment. They simply said no comment. Lies, 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 but they work. And there's this new breed of political incompetent, the Trumpist. The Trumpist believes Trump's winning story from the summit. They believe Trump's story now, that denuclearization is just happening so quickly. In the real world, none of this stuff exists, but the Trumpist believes it. And then it circles back to be doubly useful for Trump, because then a media outlet like Reuters, for example, will simply report the facts, which is Trump says that denuclearization is well on its way. Officials say they don't know what the hell Trump is talking about. The Trumpist will then call that fake news, even though it's just the most fundamental reporting of the facts on the ground.
I understand that the Trump supporter will believe Trump at all costs, and they'll write off negative stories about him as fake news. But how do they justify not taking John Kelly's word or the Pentagon's word? After all, these people work for Trump, right?
It's cognitive dissonance. I don't know. I don't know. But it's a closed circle of reasoning that you can't break into. That's the thing. Trump said it, and so it must be true. And Jim Mattis didn't, but Trump said it, and Reuters reported it, but that's fake news. And they just decide that this is just not that they will not be influenced by anything other than word from Donald Trump himself.
We've talked about the difference between politician lies and Trump lies quite a bit. Usually politicians will all get on the same page. Them, their staffs, they'll all know what the narrative is, and they'll push that forward. Trump just spews this. It's right off the top of his head.
If there's any greater sign as to the lack of hope that maybe we should have that the Trumpist will ever turn it around, is that they are not punishing him. I get not punishing your elected officials for politician lies. Like the debt is down, well, if measured this way, and if measured this way, it's up. These are just straight up verifiable lies, and they're still not punishing Trump for it in any way. That's actually the biggest indictment on the Trumpist, bigger picture.